All right, good news. The Detroit Lions get back an offensive starter that I think it's huge because we do have some injuries that we're dealing with, but a couple key starters come back from injury. Also, we're going to look at the Seahawks team, and while they're 3-0 and look good, just statistically, if you really dive into it, it's not as good as it looks. So I think the Lions have a real opportunity to win this game. First, let's take a look at who comes back, and we'll look at the injury report here. And I think it's really important to note that while the Lions are without Frank Ragnow, that has been determined that Frank Ragnow will not play. Dan Campbell, I think, hits it right on the head. He's like, good, we can go back and forth. Can he play? Maybe he can. Let's get out there. It's like, no, don't even bother with that because it's such a long season and next week's a bye. So let's get him 2 full weeks to just see where things are and then go from there. Here's the starter that I'm talking about. Sam Laporta is full go. Also Dan Skipper, which is really good just because we're going to be light on the offensive line. But seeing Sam Laporta is really a big deal for me because I feel like he's too talented. The offense is too talented. Ben Johnson even said that, to not break out. And feel like the guy that's going to break out is going to be Sam Laporta. I just feel like he's the guy that we're really going to keep an eye on. So if you look through this really quick, you can see that Frank Ragnow is out. Iffy Melifonwu, no practice. Gosh, Iffy Melifonwu, just come on. And by the way, let me know in the comments your score prediction. I think it's Lions 27, Seahawks 23. I think the Lions win this one. I hate playing Seattle. They're a tricky little team just because Geno Smith completes 70% of his passes. Kenneth Walker's solid. They got good offensive pieces. Defense is just solid enough. They give us trouble. But I think it's all new. Those Pete Carroll teams were oddly hard to beat. And again, we'll look at why the Seahawks team is not as good as that 3-0 record, and I'll show you why here in just a second. All right, limited practice, Enos Rakestraw. Now, full practice. Check this out, and this is what's really encouraging. Sam Laporta, we talked about that. I believe he is just going to break out here, have 7 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown at some point. May not be this week, but he's too talented to not make that happen. The other guy, Aleem McNeil, man, I was like, shoot, he's out. But he's back, full practice. Alex Anzalone back. Brian Branch. So these 2 guys alone just complete the defense for me. So I know we're out with Derek Barnes and Davenport, but, man, we got Anzalone back and Brian Branch is in a good place. Shoot, I'm good. I'm good with that. So McNeil has told reporters he's going to play. Let's go. Now, you look at the Seahawks injury report for Friday. So this is interesting. Byron Murphy has played really well, defensive tackle. He did not practice. Leonard Williams, another great player. Look at all their defensive linemen. So while we're out our star center, they are out their defensive linemen. So love that. Kenneth Walker comes back. So you can see we're dealing with a lot of things. So are they. So I think I remember this now, week 3. And what I mean is they've had a couple weeks on their body, and it's like, but they haven't really gotten enough. And because a lot of these guys, didn't play preseason and stuff. So like this early injury thing, it's like, man, if you could just avoid the mega injury, it's a good thing. So anyway, all teams are dealing with injuries. Now, if you look, here's what I'm looking at. Before you pass too much judgment on the Seahawks' statistically awesome pass defense. That's what people keep saying is like, man, this team can stop the run. Plus, they're insane against the pass. Like, this defense ranks top 5 in almost every category. So it's like, oh, shoot, Look at these opponents. Bo Nix in his first career start. Jacoby Brissett behind the worst offensive line in football. And Jacoby Brissett, by the way, come on. In a look at who they played last week. Skylar Thompson. Okay, I never heard of you. And look who they trot out there after Skylar Thompson gets injured. Tim Boyle. Lucky for us Lions fans, we know that Tim Boyle is horrific. And so, come on. right? So let's pump the brakes on this great Seattle defense because, again, I think it's the Mike McDonald. He's a defensive guy. No, it's fine. Still, here's some eye-popping stats from this defense that are worth considering. And I like how Pride of Detroit is where we got this from. Pride of Detroit mentions it perfectly. It's worth just noting, okay? Quarterback pressures is worth noting, sacks, and like I said, they're top 5 in almost every defensive category. So you can kind of see there. So when I look at this game, I think, man, the Lions are still going to be able to run the ball well with Glasgow at center. 2 great running backs. Ben Johnson said today in his press conference, we're too talented to just not figure this out and break out. Combine that with the Lions defense that is clearly the best defense we've had in 10 years. I mean, you could just see it, right? And you've got Aiden Hutchinson, who clearly, again, these are not opinions. This is just like watch 5 minutes of the game, is clearly a top 3 defensive end. You could say the best defensive end in football. Leads the league in sacks and pressures. So it's like, okay, so we've got the best defensive lineman in football, best D end in football. You've got a great deep linebacker room. Secondary, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph look very good. They're not going to give up big plays. We're going to stay in games. It's going to go down to the end. We've got a running game. Jared Goff, when he has a running game, is great. So I like the Lions in this game. I mean, it's just really that simple. Monday night, give the crowd another reason to be hyped up, I think is really awesome as well, of course. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, man, we did this summer where we talked about spots around Michigan. Spot around us, Coopersville Brewing, is a great spot. It's got One-Eyed Pete's in there. Is it called One-Eyed Pete's? It's got great food. Service is great. Drinks are great. Coopersville Brewing in Coopersville, Michigan. Let me know if you've ever been there. Let me know your brewery spots. I should have started the video with this. Spots that good brewery spots. Geez, I should probably learn how to say the word before I start talking about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, score prediction as well. If you haven't subscribed to us already, make sure you do that, especially if you've watched a few videos by now. I'm going for 25,000 subs. Wow, 25,000 subs. So that would be awesome. We are excited for this game. I think it's going to be huge. Go 3-1 in the first 4 games against the teams that we've played would be huge because the next few weeks kind of soften a little bit. Not crazy, but just a little bit. So you never know. It's the NFL, but let's get through these first 4, 3-1. That'd be great. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.